guys, it is Lee Porter VSG checking in with you for my week 28 post VSG app update. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery on March 27, 2018 with Dr. Ben Meir in Willoughby, Ohio. My highest weight was 330 pounds. My weight the day of surgery was 318 pounds. My weight last week on October 2nd was 232.6 pounds. My weight today, October 9th, 2018, exactly week 28 since surgery, is 229.5. So that is a 3.1 pound loss since last week. It is 100 pounds overall, 100.5 actually pounds overall, and 88.5 pounds lost since surgery. I feel amazing. So this is 2 goals that I had set out to achieve. First one being I got to below 230, and secondly, I've lost over 100 pounds. So all that happened just this morning. Yesterday even I weighed in at 230.7, I think it was. So I definitely had been close for a while to achieving this, but it all happened just today on week 28, which is actually interesting because 2s and 8s, or 28 in particular, is just my lucky number. I was born on the 28th. I met my husband when I was age 28. Seems like all the good things in my life happen on the 2s and the 8s. So this is no surprise. But anyway, I'm really excited about these milestones. To mark the occasion, I will tell you guys a little story. The reason I'd set this mini goal of 230 pounds was because it is the lowest weight I remember being in my adult life. And I remember it because of what happened around this time. It was 2004. I think that my highest weight as an adult before that was 280 pounds. And I had went on a big diet and workout kick, and I'd lost 50 pounds. I was in my mid-20s at the time. I was feeling good about myself because I had just lost a bunch of weight, and I was feeling, like I looked better and I felt better. I was living alone in an apartment in Euclid at the time. I was single. I had been with the company that I work for still today. At the time, I was celebrating my 7-8 years with the company. So I was feeling like I had a good job. I had my life together in my mid-20s, and I was starting to think about wanting to find, a boyfriend or a significant other or a partner or something serious. Maybe something, you get to that stage in your life and you want to meet a partner to get married to and, maybe have a family. And so I remember, starting to date, and I had met this guy, and I remember his name even was Tony. And he was real tall and stocky, and which is, kind of how I prefer, actually, men that I date, just a little on the larger end because, I'm obviously a bigger girl, and I just tend to be attracted to a man with meat on his bones. So I found this man. We met. It was a blind date. I think maybe we met online, and maybe we'd seen photos of each other, but there wasn't video or anything like that at that point. And anyway, we went out on a date, and we had a great date. We hit it off right away. It was really easy to talk to him, and I just really felt like I had this strong connection with him, more so than many of the other men I was meeting at the time. We went to dinner, and we spent time then at a bar, and we just talked and had this really great date, and I was really looking forward to going out with him again. I was telling my girlfriends that I met somebody that I was really excited about, and I was anxious to, see where it went. And I can remember just being really excited about him and maybe what there would be. And then I was surprised when, a few days went by and he didn't call. I don't know, I kept thinking about it. I think a number of weeks went by, and somehow we reconnected on the phone at some point. And I asked him straight out, I said, hey, when we went out, I really liked you, and I thought, we'd connected well, and I didn't understand why you didn't call me or why you weren't interested. And, I mean, I guess I'll thank the guy now for being honest, but he said to me, he said, you know, I think you're beautiful, and he's like, you're actually exactly what I'm looking for, but to be honest, you're a little bit big for me. And I can even remember the way he said it in the phone. I can remember his voice and everything else. And I remember that made me feel really bad and embarrassed at that time. And I pretty much just never wanted to hear from him again. And I was like, okay, well, you know, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate your honesty, and, you know, bye. So after that, I remember feeling, you know, really terribly. And this isn't like a woe is me story. The fact is about a year later, maybe 2 years later, I did ultimately meet who would eventually be my husband, and I'm happily married these days to a guy who is 10 times better than Tony, right? So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that story embodies something that I want to remember and celebrate at this weight. So at that time, I was the lowest weight I had ever been as an adult. I felt great. I felt like I looked great. And here I sit at that weight again today. I do feel great, and I feel like I look great. But the fact is I'm still a little big. And it's interesting because 6 months into this process, it starts to get old a little bit. I don't know if it's the process that gets old, or it's more so you start to hear more and more every single day from all these people that know you, how good you look, and you start to feel so much better in clothes, and you start to have a shape to you. And there's something about the psyche that goes on behind all these compliments and all the stuff that you're doing. You feel lighter too, and it starts to make you feel like you got this, or maybe you can be more comfortable because now you're doing it and you're fine and things are better and you've come so far. And there's something about, I don't know, it almost gives you permission to relax or to, you know, rest a little. And I'm thankful to remember this story in this time, because I pretty much tell myself that, yeah, it's great that I've lost 100 pounds. It's great that I've achieved this 230, and I'm technically lower than the lowest weight that I ever was as an adult. And it's all awesome. It's all good things. But I have a goal. My goal is to get to 160, and I can't rest or relax, or no matter how good I've done, I can't step back. I have to be deliberate and intentional to get to the 160 that I need to get to. Because the fact is even at 230, I am still very much in the obese category, very overweight, and let's face it, guys, I'm still a little big. So, I don't know, I like recalling that story. It's giving me motivation. I wish it had given me motivation many, many years ago to lose, you know, at that point I would have only needed to lose, what, 70 pounds to really get where I wanted to be and maintain it. Naturally, I didn't do that. I continued to yo-yo for the rest of my life. But, you know, here I am today. I got 70 pounds more to go. I couldn't be more excited. I guess my next mini milestone that I'd like to set is the 200. We're not really the 200 mark, more like the 199, because, you know, I'm definitely anxious to get into Wonderland and stay there. Then I hope to never see the 200s again. So I don't know. I was really happy, you know, 3.1 pounds over the week. It's actually a really surprising loss. Just this past Thursday, I celebrated my 10-year wedding anniversary with my husband. We went to Put-in-Bay, which is an island, you know, near Cleveland, where, you know, there's wineries and treats and all these wonderful fun things there. We did that on Thursday. On Friday, we had the day off together and, you know, just went around and did some of the things we love to do. Saturday we had a wedding, and those 3 days in a row, I drink probably about once a month, I'd say. But, you know, I had wine. I had like 5 glasses of wine on Thursday, and that's probably like 700 calories, in addition to, you know, the 1,300 or 1,400 calories in food that I had. Friday I didn't do any drinking, but we, you know, I ate a little bit more than I normally would have. And then Saturday we had the wedding, and I probably did pretty good that day, but it's hard to count the calories when you eat at a wedding and stuff. So I probably overestimated a little bit, but still somehow I was sitting at 1,800 calories at the end of that day. And that was like 3 days in a row where I ate way more, or had like consumed way more calories than I typically would in a normal day. I did try to be good around the other days, and so maybe I was at the 1,100 mark most of the rest of the days last week. But it's interesting how you have a few days where you do pretty poor. You feel like you do pretty poorly and you don't expect to see any movement on the scale or just a little bit of movement, and it moves a bunch. And then there's these weeks that you kill yourself and you grind hard and you do all the right things and you don't see any movement on the scale. And I'm not sure why it works that way, but I'm just going to try to be thankful for today and hitting these numbers that I've been seeking for a long time, and feel really good about that. So you guys, that is it. Just for the update today, and I hope everybody else has a great week, and I will check back in with you guys soon. Thanks for watching.